Nonso discussed the prospect of visiting Jesse's new residence with his siblings and before their parents' cruise. Jesse had repeatedly invited his siblings to visit over the course of several weeks, but instead of just them, Nonso rented an SUV and drove the entire family to the Carolinas. Tekoah enjoyed observing the scenery. She radiated with joy. The area was considered ideal. Shoshana commented, "I suppose Jess has earned his bragging rights on this occasion." Nonso stated, "I agree with you. These houses are quite large." He directed his attention to a house on their right and remarked, "Look at the flower bed of this particular house." Shoshana remarked, "Elegant and beautiful." Temeni smiled and said, "If his house is akin to one of these, even the smallest ones, he has achieved a commendable level of success. At the very least, he has attained something that fills me with great pride in him." As they descended the hill, they saw a street that demarcated the affluent neighborhood from the working-class district. The exquisite, costly residences were built on the slope, whereas the more affordable dwellings were located downhill. Shoshana nodded and said, "Nature itself has delineated the areas." Nonso was driving, and he parked the SUV in front of Jesse's house. The disparity between the houses situated on the hill was remarkable. Shoshana remarked, "That man is a boastful individual. We should have recognized that he was exaggerating the descriptions of his house to others." Jesse heard a vehicle outside his residence and looked out the window. He promptly approached and embraced them. "Mom! Dad! What a splendid surprise!" he exclaimed, embracing them and subsequently his siblings, who appeared very pleased to see him. "How was the trip?" he inquired, embracing his mother and not releasing her. "It was excellent indeed. Mom, I have felt a profound sense of longing for you. I began to reconsider my decision to leave my family and come here." He tenderly kissed her face once more, reminiscent of a young child reunited with his mother. "Mom," he exclaimed, "I miss you terribly. I miss your embraces and kisses." "I have also missed you, my dear. But you chose to leave the city and seek a new environment. As an adult, I believe you made the best decision for yourself." Everyone observed the house in silence, but it did not match the description Jesse had given. "Look at a palace a single man lives in," he remarked, but there was no response. He then added, "Allow me to give you a tour," Temeni said as they walked. "We wanted to visit you before embarking on our trip." They commenced their approach toward the door. "Where are you going on your cruise?" "We are scheduled to journey to Europe. I believe your mother would find it highly enjoyable." The residence, referred to as Palace, comprised 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. The family found the term master misleading, given that the house is to be of average quality. Bathroom and closet were of reasonable size. These were the only areas within the residence that met satisfactory standards, whereas all other spaces were standard in size. The family gathered in the dining area to enjoy their pizza. Tekoah said, "Jess!" "Yes, Mom, may I help you?" he asked. She smiled and asked, "How is the divorce going, honey?" "The divorce is not yet finalized. I sent a message to Amber the day prior to the house closing, hoping she would reconsider her decision regarding the divorce. However, she did not respond. She is likely still upset. Allow her some time. She may reconsider the divorce." "I am uncertain, Mom, but I remain hopeful." The family spent the evening engaging in conversation, reflecting on the days gone by. They departed the following day. Nonso awakened early and loaded his parents' luggage into the rented SUV. He and Shoshana embraced them and departed for Florida to board their cruise the following day. The journey was brief, less than a day, yet they preferred not to hasten or travel after nightfall. They intended to enjoy their trip from the outset and rest in a hotel. After dinner, Tekoah and Temeni convened a conference with their children, informing them that they had already settled into a hotel room for the night. The following morning, after breakfast, they contacted the children once more and told them that they would arrive in Florida by 1 o'clock and that the cruise ship was scheduled to depart at 3. Shoshana and Nonso were preparing dinner that evening when the doorbell rang. He wiped his hands and proceeded to answer the door. Two uniformed police officers identified themselves and displayed their badges before conversing with Nonso. Shoshana overheard their voices and walked to the reception area. The police officers informed them that their parents' rented SUV was struck and immobilized against a divider by a cargo truck operated by a fatigued driver who had fallen asleep at the wheel. Regrettably, their parents did not survive the accident. Both Shoshana and Nonso dropped onto the couch upon receiving the news. Half an hour later, Zamira contacted Shoshana. However, Zamira was unaware of the accident, as their siblings wished to confirm her safety prior to conveying the distressing news. She perceived that something was amiss when Shoshana answered the call and subsequently disclosed the news to Zamira. She and Jesse had to collaborate with their siblings to arrange the return of their parents' bodies and organize the funeral proceedings. 1 month subsequent to the funeral, Shoshana wished to postpone the reading of the will, but Jesse argued that he had already traveled to be with them. Jesse retrieved a headlamp from his luggage and proceeded to explore the forbidden room beneath the garage. Given his age and the absence of his parents, he likely believed he was free to act as he wished. Shoshana observed him with the headlamp, but chose to remain silent. The space was filled with numerous items. However, what drew his attention was a secured case encased in plastic, positioned atop an antique bureau, and covered with moving blankets. He carefully removed a corner of the wrap to inspect the bureau. Smiling, he reached for the case and examined it meticulously. Meanwhile, Shoshana and the others stood to the side of the small door, arms crossed, observing him. Surprised to see his siblings, he stated, "We require a key to open the box," Shoshana asked. "We, please, Jess. You must wait until our parents' will is read." He nodded silently, closed the door, and carried the box under his arm. At approximately 10 o'clock the following day, a middle-aged gentleman identified himself as Bill Matthews, the legal representative of their parents. They seated him in a chair in the library. He set his briefcase on a long table and removed both physical and digital documents. Bill asked, "Is everyone ready?" Jesse, perhaps believing it was his prime time, stated, "Yes, I am prepared." For several weeks, the office has operated without a family member overseeing it. I would like to know the next steps to take concerning our father's multi-site offices. Bill regarded him with a gentle smile and stated, "Okay, let us proceed." After the will was read, everyone was shocked. "That's unreasonable. I am the firstborn. I questioned why my father entrusted a multinational corporation to a young woman and my younger brother. This large enterprise necessitates a knowledgeable man to oversee it, not a woman, nor a youth." Jesse was visibly outraged. "I will contest this decision to the end. Please, sit down, Mr. Oathman," Bill said. Jesse responded, "I am too distressed to sit down. I will appoint an attorney on my behalf to revoke this irrational will." Zamira remarked, "Irrational, did you say? Had our father been ill but I was unaware? Our parents have recently passed away in an agonizing manner, Jesse. Yet instead of mourning, you are competing for prominence? For the position, did you say? Yes, Jess. Why did you allow greed to influence your thoughts and emotions? If Dad appointed Shona and Nonso to oversee the company, that was his prerogative. Our mother bequeathed a substantial sum of money to you. Dad divided the estates equally, except for the business, which our siblings were entrusted to manage. It is not theirs, but ours. I am not referring to estates. I am discussing the business." Shoshana looked at Jesse and nodded. Zamira proceeded, "I was not surprised when our mother prioritized her favorite child over us. Each time she referred to you as her love, I understood you were her preferred. Our father consistently boasted about his first son." Nonso stated, "Although they did not explicitly convey it, we all recognized that you were their preferred. It was okay, as we understood they cared for us as well." Therefore, brother, cease your complaints and respect Dad's final wishes." Jesse slammed his palm on the table and shouted, "That is not the issue, Nonso. I'm the eldest. I should be the one responsible for managing the company, not my younger siblings. But I assure you that I will make the necessary changes." Bill sat silently as he listened to Jesse's violent and uncontrollable anger. Looking at him, he said, "I'd like to proceed, please." Bill moved his laptop closer to him and inserted the USB drive into the port. He powered on the computer, initiated the process, and clicked the video. Both Tekoah and Temeni sat in juxtaposition, looking at the camera. Temeni commenced, "If our children are watching this video, I believe circumstances are unfolding in accordance with our expectations. Jesse, you are likely erupting like fireworks at this moment, expressing your anger towards everyone regarding the position I have assigned to your siblings, but not to you." Jesse said, "Yes. I wish to understand why, Dad." Temeni stated, "I have contemplated that the choice to assign the position to your siblings might be contentious. You will comprehend the reasons after I explain. Son, when you commenced employment with the company, your compensation was equivalent to that of your siblings. My intention was for you, my children, to learn and develop concurrently and to make the appropriate decision for the company." Shoshana, Zamira, and Nonso gazed at Jesse with profound interest. He appeared to be in a state of fury. He stated, "But I was offered a more advantageous package." Bill ceased the recording. "I cannot fathom your reasoning, Jess. I observed your performance and waited patiently for you, despite your habitual behaviors being undisciplined and unfocused. I anticipated that the office environment would influence your attitude. However, you resigned unexpectedly. I did not question or criticize your decision. I accepted it. Your siblings put in considerable effort. I monitored their progress closely to ensure they were well suited for the role you vacated. Now, you assert your right as the elder son to assume control of the business you relinquished and knew little about." Jesse said, "But I am the eldest, Dad." "Jesse, what I have done is final." "If you desired the position, you ought to have continued with the company, as your siblings did. However, this is not the definitive resolution. I assert that should you choose to return, you must demonstrate personal development, initiative, and a commitment to acting in the best interests of the business in order to participate in key decision-making processes." "I shall do so, Father," Jesse said. Temeni said, "My son, I respectfully request that you mature and develop into the individual I have always aspired for you to become. I love you, my son. My love for you surpasses verbal expression. Please be the man I want you to be, my son." Everyone observed silence out of respect, especially Jesse, who perhaps nodded in remorse. Tekoah kissed her husband's cheek and smiled as tears rolled down their children's faces. She began, "My beloved children, I wish to explain why we didn't lock the door in the room under the garage. We wanted to see which of our children would obey or disobey that simple command." Jesse frowned and said, "Mom." Tekoah said, "No one entered except our dear elder son, Jesse. He didn't go once or twice, but several times." Jesse was astonished. "We've installed a camera inside the room. It's positioned in the upper left corner of the wall. All items in the room belong to you, children. I've divided it." Bill, the attorney, read the names aloud and handed each child an envelope. Tekoah said, "There is a case located at the very back of the room. It shall remain there unopened. Please respect my wish and do not open it for any reason. However, if my inquisitive son Jesse has already claimed it, please let him keep it. I do not wish to disappoint him by retrieving the case." Jesse said, "Thanks, Mom. The case is already in my possession. I attempted to open the case last night but was unsuccessful. I require the code to unlock it." Shoshana remarked, "Jesse, how could you? We have asked you refrain from opening the case, yet you attempted nonetheless. Are you familiar with the aphorism, 'Curiosity killed the cat'? Jesse, I expected that you would heed our advice this time. Unfortunately, you disregarded everyone's guidance, including that of your parents. Nonso stated, "It would be more suitable to say, curiosity kills human beings." By referencing the events in the Garden of Eden, Eve's curiosity led her and her husband to consume the forbidden fruit. Cease your sermon, Pastor Nonso. What difference does it make? The box is mine. Mom gave it to me. But don't think I'll forgive Dad for what he did. Shoshana stated, "Do not attribute blame to Dad. Instead, hold yourself responsible. Mom advised you to leave the box in its original place. However, as it is now in your possession, she chose not to disappoint her cherished child by allowing you to retain it," he said with a shameless smile. "I couldn't open it, but I want to inspect the contents," Bill said. "I was told to keep this envelope if no one had the case." He handed Jesse a small envelope and gave Shoshana another labeled Safe's Code. Bill thanked them and left. Jesse quickly proceeded to his former bedroom and retrieved the case. He looked like a child on Christmas morning, beaming with joy as he opened the case. Inside was a rigid manila envelope. He opened it and removed a powder blue blanket. A note was attached. He began reading. Tears welled up in his eyes and flowed down his cheeks. His hands shook as he read the note. Moments later, he dropped it on the table and covered his face with his hands while crying. Zamira approached and seated close to Jesse, gently caressing his shoulders. She took the note and read it aloud. "My name is Valerie. I'm teen mom and an orphan who lived in an orphanage. When I told your father about the pregnancy, he ran off." Jesse was weeing aloud. Valerie said, "The orphanage wanted me to give you up for adoption. I left and became homeless. I had no address. Therefore, I was ineligible for public assistance. I watched this lady's routine for several months. Then you came. Homeless. I was unable to care for myself or an 11-day-old baby who needed care. You needed a maternal figure to ensure your well-being." Zamira wept. Valerie stated, "I left you beneath the stairs leading to the beach so she could retrieve you. I did not depart until she had you in her arms. Jesse, I did not abandon you. My actions were motivated by love. Please, miss, care for our child. May God bless you." She pressed her lips to the message, leaving a lipstick mark. No one at the table was without tears. Tekoah also conveyed a message. She stated, "Jesse, my first love, you are loved by not one, but two mothers. You were not yet 2 weeks old when you were gifted to me. Regrettably, I couldn't thank Valerie for her altruism and generosity. I loved and cherished you with all my heart." Jesse held his head and sobbed. "Your father and I had to marry quickly to facilitate your adoption. The note she left made it clear that she wanted me to raise you. She loved you and wanted you to have the life she couldn't give you. I've never met her and had no information about her. I want you to know that your father and I loved you very much. Be the man we know you can be, and take care of your siblings to make them proud of you, as if your father and I were here." Tekoah also added a kiss to her message. Everyone was astonished upon discovering that Jesse was not the biological child of Tekoah and Temeni. Jesse inquired, "Why did they conceal the truth from me for so many years?" Zamira responded, "Jess, their intention was to shield you from the distress of discovering that you were not their biological offspring. Look at your present state. You are shattered by the knowledge of the truth." Nonso said, "Brother, please do not be so upset. Your life and ours are not different. Our parents had given you and us all the same love." Shoshana said, "Mom pampered you and demonstrated greater affection towards you than she had shown us." Jesse chuckled while weeping. "But sis, you don't understand how I feel. Please share your feelings. In my view, the actions of our parents were the best decisions they could have made for you. Jess, perhaps their intent was to disclose the truth, but considering your temperament, they chose to withhold it from you. You have no idea how much I am suffering. I am uncertain of my identity or my place in the world. The individuals I have known and loved are not my biological parents. You are not my siblings. My birth mother forsook me by the seaside as waste. Please don't say that, Jess, Shoshana implored, her voice trembling with tears. We are the Oathmans. We are bound together, he said. Imagine that. Nodding, he continued. Considering my audacity, all I can express is, wow. What impression did they have of me when I demonstrated my temerity within the family and behaved arrogantly as if I were entitled? Shoshana said, Jess, please stop. Our parents cherished you. Your biological mother did not abandon you. You read her letter. Her actions were an act of love. She loved you enough not to let you suffer along with her. Did anyone mistreat you, our parents? Although you are a pain in the neck, she said, nudging him gently. Tears continued to flow from Jesse's eyes as he firmly declared, They loved me, but we endeavored to guide you by disregarding your requests. Recall when you invited us to your residence, we declined. Our intention was to impart a lesson. He smiled through tears. Did we not love you unconditionally as your siblings? He nodded. But that's not the point. It is the essential point. Looking at him, she stated, I am not apologizing for asserting that your actions bring you grief. While Mom and Dad may have wished to keep the secret, your inquisitiveness has resulted in your distress. I trust you have gained a lesson from this experience. He nodded and expressed regret, saying, I am sorry, but they ought to have informed me, sis. Jesse returned to the Carolinas, vacated his residence, leased it out, and subsequently moved in with his siblings. He underwent a noteworthy transformation. He returned to work at the company alongside his siblings, demonstrated appropriate behavior, and asked for clarification when needed. His parents would have undoubtedly been pleased to see this positive development. Shoshana left work with Jesse, while Nonso remained behind to complete a few tasks in the office. They walked toward the elevator, chatting and sharing stories about work and their parents. Jesse said with a smile, I loved Mom. She loved me so much. Yes, she loved you very much, he stated. Dad enforced strict discipline. He compelled me to reflect on my behavior, but it was unnecessary because I relied on my mom as my safeguard. I believed she would always be there to shield me. Even after her passing, I continued to believe so, which is why I went to the room and took the briefcase. Shoshana said, I wish you had left it there. I'm glad I did. Dad's love was different from Mom's. I know he loved me. I thanked him for his harsh but motivating words. They were the driving force behind my change. Smiling, Shoshana took his hand and gently squeezed his fingers. She said, I'm proud of you. We, your siblings, have always cherished you. We are proud of you. Our parents would have been proud to notice the changes in you. They descended the stairs to their automobile. She noticed an individual who maintained a distance until they reached their vehicle. The individual then entered his car as Shoshana and Jesse departed. While driving, Jesse glanced at his sister and asked, What do you think about Mrs. Aku and Flynn, as well as Ms. Daniels' new proposal? The proposals appeared to be promising. I conducted a review and found no concealed clauses. Mr. Aku and Miss Daniels have been affiliated with the company for nearly a decade. Smiling, he stated, Dad had reminded me, when reviewing documents, to analyze them to ensure there was no complexity. Shoshana said, I met Ms. Daniels and Mr. Aku about 3 years ago. He nodded as an acknowledgement. He said, I miss our parents greatly. I miss Mom's embraces. Shoshana said, You have no idea how much I miss them. They were almost perfect parents, Shona. The love I received from Mom, I doubt I could have received the same from Valerie. He smiled and said, All of you are right. She wanted the best for me. You've grown so much since our parents' death, Jess. I'm glad to see this change in you, Shoshana said, as they were getting out of the car. Jess, I did something. I hope you'll forgive me. Certainly, sis. He looked at her and inquired, "What did you do?" She said, smiling, "I've been conversing with Amber recently." He looked stunned. "She agreed to come to the house for a get-together. She still loves you." "What did you do, Shona? How do you know she still loves me?" "She hasn't gone on a date since the divorce wasn't finalized, and she said she still cares about you. I told her that you haven't dated either and mentioned that you've changed since our parents' deaths, but I didn't mention the adoption. I left that decision to your discretion." He kissed her hand. "Thanks so much, sis." She smiled and said, "Amber is coming for the weekend. I think a barbecue would be great. It would give you both the time you need to reconnect and for her to see the changes I've noticed in you. Brother, I am confident you will make us all happy." A well-dressed man was speaking softly on his phone as Jesse and Shoshana passed by on their way home. They smiled and greeted him. He nodded in acknowledgement. The next day, the same man stood in the same spot, talking on his phone. When he saw them, he waved. "This is the second time we've seen him. Maybe he's just started working in this area," Shoshana said. "It's possible. He seemed friendly." Amber arrived on Sunday afternoon, bringing her famous corn casserole, Jesse's favorite, pre-seasoned steaks, and fruit salad. Nonso had just returned home and parked his vehicle. He approached her, offered a hug, and helped her carry the food inside. Amber embraced Shoshana and Zamira, who had returned home for the weekend to spend time with her siblings. Amber smiled and extended her hand to Jesse. He shook it and gave a hesitant smile. Perhaps, in retrospect, their close relationship had now been reduced to a handshake. "How are you?" he inquired. "I'm okay, but it could have been better," she said hesitantly. He inquired with a smile, "How's work?" "Work is positive. I have been promoted to the CNO, Chief Nursing Officer. I accepted the promotion because I do not have children and am home alone, which led me to consider the opportunity. Although it entails considerable responsibility, I find it greatly fulfilling." "Wow, I'm proud of you, honey," he said, then realized he called her honey. "It's a habit. I apologize. I should have addressed you by your name." "It's okay, honey." Both of them laughed aloud. Everyone turned to look at them and then smiled. Shoshana said, "It's working. I hope they reconcile by the end of the day." And everyone agreed. Both Amber and Jesse walked into the backyard to talk. He said, "Come into the kitchen with me. I'd like to have a head start with the barbecue." She followed him. He put coal on the grill and started a fire. "I've missed you," he said. "I have also missed you, Jess. Shona is very proud of you. Please continue the excellent work you are doing." He stated, "I must thank you once more for attending my parents' funeral. I trust that your family received my thank you card." She nodded affirmatively. "You were right, Amber. I sincerely apologize for the way I comported." Currently, they are seated at the outdoor kitchen's island. She took his hand and rubbed it gently. "I apologize for my conduct. I should have exercised greater patience, as my parents' counseling suggested. Marriage necessitates patience, which I have failed to uphold." He gazed at her as tears welled up. "I was a weak-minded person, yet I considered myself to be invariably correct. I believed everyone was obligated to adhere to my directives. Following my parents' demise, my father left me a message that prompted deep reflection, particularly given that my mother, who is no longer present to shield me, compelled me to scrutinize my conduct. Dad's words persistently haunted my nights. I perceived myself as others perceived me, a juvenile aggressor. Honey, I am pleased to see this positive change in you, the one I had hoped for. I am very proud of you." He expressed his gratitude with a modest smile, stating, "Thank you. I have a lengthy journey ahead. However, I am confident that all will be well." He held Amber's hand and continued, "I sincerely wish this transformation had occurred before the demise of my parents." He then nodded in acknowledgement, reflecting on his actions, noting, I drove my family over the wall. Honey, you have become the man I desired in my life, she said, smiling. You have ceased being overbearing. I am very proud of you, and everyone else shares this sentiment as well. Smiling, he said, I now understand why my mother constantly protected me. Amber looked at him with curiosity. He continued, my siblings and I discovered that I was adopted when I was 11 days old. Amber's mouth was wide open in shock. What? Aware of my temperament, they endeavored to shield me from the details of my adoption circumstances. She remained silent, allowing him to narrate the story. He recounted everything to Amber. She embraced him for solace. I appreciate the profound love my parents held for me. What are your plans? Don't you want to locate your biological parents? Please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the end of Tekoah's love. You'll be amazed.